Welcome to Faith Exclusive Episode 2, where we discuss topics that challenge you and assist in finding the solutions for a better outcome and a way forward. I'm your host, Faith. In Episode 1, we discussed boundaries, character, and integrity in a world that is changing rapidly, where you are encouraged to express yourself freely. In this episode, we are discussing the importance of trust. Our disclaimer is a reminder that this podcast should not be taken as legal counseling or advice. Information on this podcast is for inspiration, and we cannot be held liable for information included in this podcast. Do not rely solely on the information shared, and if you do, we will not be held liable for such reliance. This podcast isn't a substitute for professional advice. We are not a professional and reserve the right to change the management of this podcast. The content is opinionated and the terms of use are to the best of our knowledge. Let's get started. Trust is multifaceted and studied over many years by psychologist Erik Erikson, sociologist Niklas Luhmann, economist Kenneth Arrow, and neuroscientist Paul Zak. They all seek to gain insight into what is trust and how trust affects their specialty of study. Everyone has a different insight about trust based on personal experience. What does trust mean to you, and how important is it? I will tell you that two important keys to unlocking trust in any situation are truth and honesty. Trust is reliability in any situation or relationship. It's also a characteristic trait. Trust shows up as consistency and vulnerability. Trust in self shows your confidence as you navigate in life. You can establish trust by setting clear boundaries within your relationships. Does trust come easy for you? Is it something you have to work at when dealing with others? If you're just joining, welcome to Episode 2, where we are discussing the importance of trust. Trust builds a foundation of safety that allows you to be vulnerable when needed. Where trust is violated or broken, limitations become present. It limits the great relationships you could have. It limits how open you are to others or how open they can be with you. We know that people have to be able to trust you with their information or space. Faith is also trusting. It fully believes in what you expect to be true. Trust brings about peace of mind. It's a great feeling when you can let your guard down and fully trust, because it allows you to relax and be peaceful. It allows the other person to feel safe. How important is it to feel safe with someone or the environment you are in? Authenticity allows others to see what they're exposing themselves to, creating safe havens for them. If you're just joining, welcome to Episode 2, where we are discussing the importance of trust. When you think about life as you see it today, are people losing their trust? Trust in a system that was supposed to secure, protect, and sustain a people. Trust in relationships, because people have really changed compared to how our grandparents interacted with one another. Trust in the food and other resources for a healthy existence. Trust is stability. It's supposed to be a safety net, a foundation to build upon. Have the strength of words become weak due to a lack of trust? This episode is to really get you to think about the necessity of trust in the different areas of your life and how important it is to you and those around you. If you're just joining, welcome to Episode 2, where we are discussing the importance of trust. Let's shift the discussion around trust issues and how they are developed. Negative thoughts due to a bad experience will cause distrust. Unhealed emotions can start a lifelong path of trust issues affecting all other relationships. Forever being suspicious of people causes you to miss out on some of the best relationships. Loneliness, dysfunction, insecurities, and anxiety are all possibilities for entertaining distrust. The good news is that it's definitely reparable. There's always professional help available to those who need it. Discovering the root of the trust issues and taking the time to heal will allow you to rebuild. If you're just joining, welcome to Episode 2, where we are discussing the importance of trust. Is trust given, or is it something that has to be earned? If you say that someone has to earn your trust, are you telling them that you don't trust them and you're keeping them under the radar? How would you treat someone who hasn't earned your trust? Or would it be safe to say that their access to you is limited, and once you feel sure about who you're dealing with, you'll allow more access? On the other hand, by giving trust up front, you are open to fully experiencing the other person. It's saying that you're accepting them for what it is and you'll deal with them as it comes. Either way, it's a chance you take, and the safest way would be setting boundaries. Boundaries allow you to stay safe, be vulnerable, and explore the possibilities. I hope this ignited your curiosity and left you with something to think about. That brings us to the end of this episode. We appreciate you during our discussion regarding the importance of trust. We hope this ignited something in you that provoked your curiosity. As always, we welcome you back and appreciate your listening ear here on Faith Exclusive Podcast.